All right, y'all, we're back again with another video. And today we're gonna see if we can get this old Ford dump truck to run again for the first time in a long time. All right, well, I reckon we ought to check this thing out. Got moss on the hood, some old body work. This is a Ford 600. This thing, shoo, I'm kind of scared to open this door. There's no window over here. Oh, that's a giant brown recluse. Let's take care of him or her. All right. Well, that's alarming. Have to be a little more careful. All right. So we've killed 2 brown recluses just by opening the door. Funny thing, this truck's white, orange, green, black, red. Yeah. All right. All right. Give y'all a better look in here. We've got leaves all over the floor because, again, we don't have a window in the driver's side. One heck of a trailer hitch. Look, got the key in here. Yep, that's the right one. Let's see. 53,187 miles on the dot. That may be actual mileage. See all the orange inside? I bet this must have been a state truck of some kind. It probably is a real mileage. Well, if we're going to get this thing running, I reckon we ought to try to get underneath the hood here and see what the situation is. All right. See if we can get the hood up on this old girl. I'm kind of scared to put my hand under there. Oh. All right. A little bit of rust. A lot of, not too bad actually. Y'all come take a look. Well, first things first, we got a heck of a radiator in this thing. And there's actually an engine in here. Looks like a V8 of some kind. Mostly complete. We're missing the carburetor there on top. We got us an old single barrel master cylinder there for the brakes. Overall though, under the hood, not too bad a shape. There is a lightning cube in here, been hooked up for the last 15 years, but might still hold a charge. It's an ultra power. All the wiring looks to be complete. I've got a carburetor up at the shop, maybe a little bit of gasoline in a can and another one of them batteries. Let's go grab some parts and see if we can't get this whole thing to turn over. Who knows? Maybe it's not even stuck. I know I've got a battery somewhere over here. Ought to be good and charged up. Everybody's got to have a good battery on hand. Here, I'm going to break the cardinal sin of car batteries. Instantly going to discharge. Y'all watch that. I'm going to go grab this carburetor real quick. All right. I reckon I found it. We got China's finest. Look at that. Shooey. Fresh gasket kit. And an old 2-barrel carburetor. Big Red's Tool Delivery Service. Well, I might have come in a little too hot on that one, but oh well, let's get back to it. Before I get too carried away on this thing, I reckon we'll go ahead and try to pull the blood stick or the fluid stick on this thing. Let's see, what do we got? Oh, she's right about the full mark. And she got some manual transmission back there, so we ain't got nothing to worry about on that one. All right, y'all, we got our millennial theft deterrent device placed in stationary mode, and we're going to take our ratchet here and see if this old engine's stuck, because we don't want to go cranking on that starter too hard and break off a tooth or something before we make sure that she's going to actually turn over. All right, let's give her a little tug on the ratchet here. Oh, she's loose. She's a little stiff, but she's loose. Let's make sure we can get a full rotation out of her. Oh yeah, she's turning over nice and smooth. All right, well, now that we know the engine's gonna actually turn over, let's go ahead and slap on that new carburetor and see if we can get this thing to make some noise. Well, now that we got China's finest 2-barrel carburetor installed on this whole thing, we're gonna move on to putting in a new battery and see if we can burn this thing to the ground right where she sits. Gum, these things are rusted solid. Ain't no way they're coming off of there without a fire. Ow! Yeah, just what I thought. Let's see if we can get this thing off of there. Well, that was easier than it should have been. All right, we got the new one here. Fits like a glove. Now, which one of them posts was which? All right, here's the moment of truth. Okay. Nothing exploded. Let's get our little starter button hooked up here. Got to figure out which one it goes to. All right, nothing's on fire in here. All right, key's on. I guess fire in the hole. Let's see if she'll crank over. She's got a little bit of a hiccup to her. Let's hit it one more time. Well, now that we know she turns over with the Bluetooth key, let's get under that distributor cap and see if them points are in any kind of shape. We'll see if we can get this thing to make some spark. All right, well, first things last, let's get this distributor cap off of here. Oh, not too bad. Can you believe that? Look right there. Made in USA. We got a good old point system going on here. And they got just a little bit of corrosion on them. Let's see if we can get them things sanded down so they'll make some good sparks for us. Get a rotor button out of the way. Since she's on the stroke here where the points are actually open, we're going to bump her over once real quick and get them things to close up. Just like that. That's all it takes. Now, we'll bump them back and forth. See if we're getting any spark. And we're not. Well, since we're not getting any spark out of these points, let's trace her on back here to our coil. We got the negative side hooked up. We've got some house plumbing wiring hooked to the positive side. Going down to, look at there. There's a digital pump in there. Huh. I guess we can assume the factory fuel pump's not working then. We're going to take the house wiring off of this thing because we really don't have no need to power that digital pump right this minute. We just want to get some spark out of our points over there. There we go. All right, I think we got her figured out here. I just wasn't holding my tongue right. Oh, she shocked me. Well, of course, now that we're on camera, she's going to be shy. Well, she's shocking the crap out of me. We're going to assume that she's going to be good. Well, now that we got some spark there in our coil and our points, we're going to assume all the spark plugs are fresh from the parts store. At least we're going to imagine that's true. And we'll just dump some gas right down the carburetor and crank this old girl over and see if she's going to fire up. We got some mystery fire liquid here in our bottle. We're going to pour some right down the carburetor. I reckon we can try to fill the bowl up if we can figure out where the vent tube is. Or maybe we'll just pour some right down here and see what happens. Oh, proper choke open here, just like it needs to be. And let's give her a shot. Actually, you know what I just realized? I left the rotor button laying right there on the intake, so I guess we'll put that back in. A little more gas down the carburetor there. Let's give her a shot. Oh! She kicked over. Did you hear that? A little more gas, because that never hurt. Oh! She came to life. Well, it was just that easy, folks. I smell about 13 exhaust leaks. That's going to be just fine. Let's give her another little dose of fuel and see if we can't keep her running for another second. We're going to try to see if we can catch ourselves on fire, and well, maybe not. Y'all reckon, what is this, the vent tube for the bowl? Or is this a vent tube for a bowl? Let's see. Oh, hopefully I didn't just flood her out. Let's see if she'll kick over again for us. Nope, not off of that. A little bit more down the pipe here. If I can just find the lid to my fuel bottle. I went ahead and mixed up some strong 2-stroke gas and got a little piece of fuel on here, so maybe we can get her running just a little longer and see if she's going to make oil pressure. All right, we got a little more fuel there in the top of the bowl, I hope. Dang. Now she's really not wanting to fire for us. What's going on? Ain't really changed nothing. Maybe it needs a little more choke. Let's see. Well, that didn't last long. Hold on. Let's give this a go one more time. cable's getting kind of hot over here. That one too. Let's give her just a minute to rest and we'll see if we can't get this thing to stay running a little longer. Where did that explosion of fuel come from? Holy moly! I think the fuel tank just... What? Well, they got an automatic pump on there, plumbed into the regular pump. And darn if I don't think this thing just started pushing a bunch of fuel up. I don't think any single one of the exhaust manifold ports are actually sealed to the block, but she runs pretty good. All right, plugged off the fuel line feeding our pump down there, because I tell you, I never would have expected for that thing to actually start pumping fuel, but I believe that is what happened. Let's see if we can get her cranked over here one more time, and before I get too carried away, see what's in the old radiator here. Well, I bet y'all wouldn't believe it, but you better, because look at that. Green and full. All right, well, since that's in good shape, let's give her another whirl over here. Well, let's give her another shot and see if she'll idle on her own. Oh, gotta go turn that key. Wait a minute. Okay, 58th time's the charm. Ooh, she wants to run again. There must have still been some fuel left in that fuel pump. Oops. Well, now she's soaked again after I've already dried up all that fuel once earlier. Well, if you're wondering what all that smoke is, that's probably the 87.8 to 1 two-stroke gas that I mixed up here. But overall, old motor sounds like it's running pretty good. I know the brake pedal is about stuck on this thing. I was really hoping I'd be able to keep her running long enough to actually see if she's making oil pressure. Why don't y'all come in here real quick and watch the gauges, and I'll give her a crank and we'll see if she's actually making any pressure. Well, there you have it. I never would have guessed, but we were actually able to get this whole thing running today. And as good as it runs, I'll tell you all that the brakes are stuck and some of the tires might be a little flat on this thing, but maybe in another video we can see if we can get this thing to drive around the yard, maybe up and down the road. I have been needing some gravel for the driveway here, so this would be a pretty good tool to use to get that done. But thank y'all for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, like and subscribe to the channel and come back for more.